Yo, what is up? This is Chance with Cover 2 Sports, and I'd like to, as quickly as possible, give you my picks for this week's NFL slate, NFL Week 4. I had an absolute stinker of a week last week, went 8-8 after starting hot for the first 2 weeks of the season. I'll give you some of my thoughts. Some of these are based off vibes, some of them are based on past performances, but we'll just quickly go down the line. I'm recording this at 5:29 p.m. on Friday, so Thursday night's game already happened. I honestly would have picked Seattle for this game. Obviously, it's easy to say that now, but they looked really good through the first 3 weeks of the season, and with losing James Conner, I just had no faith in the Cardinals. It really breaks my heart to see how Marvin Harrison Jr. has performed thus far, but I'm really, really glad that he got that touchdown last night. You could tell that meant a lot to him. Next game, we have 9:30 a.m. Sunday, the Vikings and the Steelers. This one was hard for me to pick. I really like seeing Carson Wentz perform well. Really hope he can keep that up and have a career resurgence, kind of like Sam Darnold had last year. The Steelers had 5 turnovers last weekend, which is incredibly impressive, obviously. Not sure if they're going to be able to replicate that. If the Steelers protect Aaron Rodgers and their defense plays like that, then I can see them obviously winning this game. But my money is going to be on the Vikings. I think Carson Wentz has another great week. I think that Jordan Mason performs really well as well. He's obviously, Aaron Jones is out, but he has shown himself to be RB1 material. Obviously, he showed that last year at the end of the season with the 49ers, but give me the Vikings in that game. Commanders versus Falcons. I got to go Commanders here. Marcus Mariota and the Commanders played really well last week. Jaden Daniels will be back. They had 200 yards through the air, 200 yards rushing. They played really well, threw up 41 points without their starting quarterback. Nothing redeemable that I'm seeing with the Falcons. Michael Penix looked really bad last weekend. Got absolutely thrashed by the Panthers, and nothing that I've seen from that performance makes me think they're going to win that game. I don't think the Saints are as bad as people think. I think this rebuilding year is going really well for them. I've seen a lot of potential from Spencer Rattler. I think his ability to read the field is really good. Was kind of a Rattler hater in college, but I think that's just from growing up in Arkansas. I never really liked Oklahoma. But obviously, you got to take the MVP. You got to take the Bills. James Cook has looked amazing through this year. Josh Allen, obviously, the best quarterback in the league right now. The way he's able to utilize every single person on the offense is incredibly impressive, and they've just looked dominant. And as a Bengals fan, with my starting quarterback out, I'd really like to see them win the AFC and go to the bowl this year. That city really needs it. And obviously, us Bengals fans and Bills fans have a great relationship, and I love you guys. Chargers versus the Giants. I don't think Jackson Dart gets a win here at his first professional start at quarterback for the New York Giants. I think the Chargers defense, the defensive coordinator, is going to cook up a lot of looks for them, try to confuse them as much as possible. That's the way you beat a young quarterback. They're so focused on doing their job well. If you throw a lot of looks at them, you can really confuse them and force them to make bad decisions. And the Chargers have looked incredible so far this year. Justin Herbert's a dog. Marion Hampton is starting to get going a little bit. Keenan Allen shows that he still has it. Quentin Johnson, out of nowhere, has had this insane resurgence, which he's been playing like we all expect him to play, even though he's known mostly for his drop balls. He's had a great year so far. The Titans and the Texans. This is a tough one for me as well. I am heartbroken to see CJ Stroud and the Texans struggle so much. I am a lifelong Ohio State fan, born and raised in Ohio, obviously, so I'm a Bengals fan. I've really hated to see them struggle like this. He hasn't looked good out there. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what it is. I know obviously their offensive line is trash. That obviously makes a big difference. Joe Mixon is hurt. They've dealt with injuries for the past 2 years. But honestly, I'm going to take the Titans in this one. I know that's a hot take. I'm going to take the Titans off of vibes. I think Cam Ward gets his first win as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's looked really poised. He's looked good. Obviously, they don't have a great team. They don't have a lot of talent around them. But I think him and Calvin Ridley connect, and they get their first win of the season. Browns and Lions. Browns and Lions is another tough one for me. Obviously, it's like, guys, it's a Cleveland Browns. What are you talking about? They might have the best defense ever. They are on pace to have the best defense ever. Definitely the best defense in the league so far, in my opinion. Definitely should have beat us week 1, but some of the formations and schemes that Dan Campbell threw last week were just absurd and so fun to watch. How can you not want to see this team win? How can you not want to root for Dan Campbell and the boys? I'm going to take the Lions here. I think after their week 1 embarrassment, they're going to continue to dominate. They're going to continue to run up the score, and we're going to see them late in the season for sure. The Panthers versus the Patriots. Haven't watched a ton of Patriots football this season so far, admittedly. The Panthers looked good last week. They only had a little bit over 100 yards passing, but they got their run game going. Chuba Hubbard got 70 yards. Rico Dowdle got involved as well. If they can continue to establish the run game, I think that takes a lot of pressure off of Bryce Young. If they can protect him, obviously that helps too. This is a hard one for me because I don't know what to think about this Patriots team. I do think Drake May has the potential to be a franchise quarterback, but I don't know if the Panthers can win 2 games in a row because 2 good things can't happen in a row to that organization, so I'm inclined to take the Patriots on this one. The Eagles versus the Buccaneers. This pick is vibes alone. Obviously, the Eagles are reigning Super Bowl champions, but golly, I love me some Baker Mayfield football. 2 out of my 3 fantasy leagues, I got Baker at starting quarterback. I love seeing this guy succeed, and he's got one of the iciest clutch veins in the entire league. Give me Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, and Emeka Egbuka. Give me all those boys. I want to see them win at 1 p.m. on Sunday. The Colts and the Rams. This is the game I'm most excited to watch this week, including the Bengals. Danny Dimes, just a generational resurgence of his career so far this season in Indianapolis. Matthew Stafford, Unk still got it, man. He's still slinging the ball. He's still reading defenses like the back of his hand. He is just one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it, and I love him, and I love watching this Rams team succeed. I think this Rams team, who almost beat the Eagles to stay undefeated, I think they're going to expose some weaknesses in the Colts. I think they're going to show some chinks in the armor. I think it's going to be a really close game that can go either way, but I'm going to take the Rams on this one. Sorry, Indianapolis. Love you guys, but I just got to speak honestly from the head and the heart. You know what I mean? Jacksonville versus the 49ers. Jacksonville got a good win last weekend against hopefully not a bad Texans team, but Brock Purdy should be back this week, I believe, unless I read that wrong. I really hope that Brian Thompson Jr. could really turn it around. It's been absolutely abysmal watching him play football. It was almost worse watching him play than watching the Bengals actually play against him. So for the sake of my fantasy team and for the league, I hope he can get a little bit of a turnaround here. I'm going to take the Niners in this one. It's hard to bet against Christian McCaffrey and the boys. The Baltimore versus the Chiefs. I think this game is a must-win for the Ravens, even more so than the Chiefs. They've been absolutely embarrassed in crunch time. They've shown that they can't keep a lead, that they can't win when it matters, and I think they hear that noise, and I think they have a bounce-back game this weekend. Really tough schedule to start the year from them, but I really hope Derrick Henry doesn't have 4 fumbles in 4 games. His ball security through his career has been so good. But if you look at the numbers, most of his fumbles through his career has been in the 4th quarter, and hopefully that trend does not continue for them. And if it does, maybe wait until the Bengals play the Ravens to start fumbling the ball again. Thanks. I'm going to take the Ravens on this one. Bears and the Raiders. We're finally starting to see the Caleb Williams that everybody was talking about when he got drafted. He looked great last weekend. I like when the Bears are good at football. I love Rome Odunze. The Raiders, not really sure how I feel about that organization. I really hope they could start run blocking and get Ashton Genty to show his true self. He has not had a single opportunity to run the ball. He's getting hit before the line of scrimmage every single time. Nobody in the league can run the ball effectively when their line is blocking like that. I'm going to take the Bears on this one. Hopefully 2 good things can happen in a row to this organization. Hoping the best for them. Micah Parsons return to Dallas. That's going to be a really fun matchup. I still think, even though they lost, I still think the Packers are the best team in the league. If not the league, then definitely the NFC. I think they have a bounce back in this game. I think Micah Parsons gets 1 or 2 sacks here, pressures the quarterback a lot. I know he said he loves Dak and it's going to be hard to hit him, but I think that's a bunch of baloney. I think that's a bunch of bahookie, like my papaw says. I think he can't wait to go hit Dak Prescott and show Jerry Jones what a mistake he made. I think the Packers are going to take this one. Jordan Love still looks great. It's hard for anybody to play in Cleveland. I think the Bengals showed that week 1. They are an incredible team at home. Hopefully their defense can play well against the Lions this week, but we're talking about the Packers and the Cowboys here. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm pretty concerned. Dak is in his 30s now. He doesn't have a ton of time left in his career. Probably a good 8-9 years left. But he's in his prime right now, as far as my opinion goes, and you got one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league, in CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jones is delusional, though. If he thinks they're winning a Super Bowl this year, they got to figure something out. Give me the Packers in that game. Jets versus Dolphins. This one's really tough because both of these teams stink. I love Justin Fields. Obviously, I'm biased as a Bucs fan, but Dolphins showed flashes late in that game last week against the Bills. They showed that their offense can get going. Tua, I can't say what I want to say because I don't want this video to get reported and taken down, but he stinks. And hopefully Tyreek Hill gets traded or they replace him with someone else because I just can't watch this guy play football anymore. That being said, give me the Dolphins. I think they have a bounce back this week. I think they're going to go 1-3 to start the season. I think they're going to have a little bit of a bounce back here. I still think they finish the season below 500, but my God, if they start 0-4, Mike McDaniels is going to lose his job. So give me the Dolphins. Final game of the week, my Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. Obviously, give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos. They lost a really close game last week on a really, really tough penalty call. Leverage in that situation is a really tough call for any referee to make. If I'm a Broncos fan, I'm pissed after last week, and I want to see a bounce back. I still believe in Bo Nix. I think he has a good game this Monday, and I think Jake Browning continues to struggle. Our offensive line is horrible, and the rushing game leaves much to be desired, so give me the Broncos. I think we go 2-2 to start the season. And, yep, those are my picks for week 4 of the NFL slate. I rambled a lot, but I love talking football. So let me know who you got this weekend or any takes that you disagree with. And that's about it for this one. See ya.